In this series, Potential, we're talking about dating and relationships. If you found yourself interested in someone recently, then you know that it's a lot like a cheesy gordita crunch. You can't get that person out of your mind. No matter how hard you try, it only becomes a problem when a person, or the idea of having a person, becomes an obsession. There's nothing wrong with having someone in your life, and there's nothing wrong with being excited about it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have that person in your life. If you don't have someone in your life and you wish you did, there's nothing wrong with that either. But when everything else in your life seems to fade out because of this person, that can become problematic. You might wonder why. Well, it's because you get distracted. There's so much to do in high school that actually matters. It's easy to miss out if all you're focused on is one relationship or the idea of having that one relationship. Chances to make memory with your friends, chances to connect with your family. You'll miss out on chances to develop your talents. You may even miss out on chances to learn new things or be an influence to those around you. Being too focused on any one thing, whether it's a person, a relationship, a hobby, is never a good idea. You push people away. Your friends aren't stupid. They realize, even if you think they don't, when your heart, time, and energy and thoughts aren't with them. When you ghost them all the time to hang out with someone else, they feel the distance and the separation. If you're not careful, eventually that can take a toll on those relationships. And all of a sudden, the people that you used to care about the most don't feel like you care about them at all, even if you do. We've all been around people who act like a married couple in high school. And even if it seems kind of romantic, it also seems weird, right? We've all seen people give up friends, sports, and even things that they are into for a person that they're dating. And deep down, they know that they're probably missing out on a lot. The question is, what do you do about it? You can't not care about someone if you care about them, right? I mean, isn't that the whole point? But how much is good for you and how much isn't? We're going to look at a passage from a letter written by the Apostle Paul, who wrote almost half of the New Testament. All letters to emerging faith communities that happened in the first century. He wanted people to love God, to love each other, and to live better lives, which is something that we want too. Dating as we know it didn't exist when Paul wrote this. And even though this passage doesn't specifically talk about dating, the truth that comes from it can certainly be applied. This is how Paul starts. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise. Most of the time, dating decisions have more to do with wise or unwise. Paul is encouraging his audience to pay attention to what they do and make the wisest choice that they can. This principle can be applied just to about anything, your friendship, school, your schedule. But for the sake of today's conversation, here are some questions to ask yourself when it comes to dating. At what point does being interested in someone or the idea of someone cross the line into an obsession? When it comes to my interest in dating, how close am I to that line? Paul also isn't done making his point here. He continues, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. In other words, your time gets taken up by so many different things. It's important to make the most of what you have left. Paul wants his reader and us to make the most of our time. And when it comes to high school, this is important. High school is a unique part of your life that you will never experience again. You have a chance to encourage your friends, influence people who are younger than you, and develop yourself in so many areas while you're in high school. In other words, God is at work in your life, and God wants to use you in specific ways while you're in high school. And while dating can be a part of that plan, it can also be a distraction from that plan. To make the best use of the time that we have in high school, one thing that we can take away from Paul's encouragement to us is this: nothing in life should hold you back from the rest of your life. That's not a knock on the person that you like or the person that you're dating, and it doesn't mean that relationships don't have potential. But it does mean that the more we make someone the entire focus of our life, the more potential that we have to miss out on things that matter. And don't miss this. Another human being is not meant to carry the weight of all your emotional needs. That's too much to put on one person. Not only that, but sometimes the best way that you can care for another person is by helping them make the most of their time as well. Is dating someone something that you can do with part of your time and part of your attention? If so, awesome. You have a ton of other parts of your life to focus on right now. But if your dating life is holding you back from the rest of your life, it may be time to rethink some things. And here's what that looks like. Broaden your focus. When we become so obsessed with the person that we're dating or the idea of dating someone, we can lose all sense of perspective. To get it back, start living a life that includes more than just one person. Expand your world, broaden your focus outside of the person that you're dating. If you're currently in a relationship, don't forget the people around you. Don't ditch your friends, don't abandon your family, and don't lose interest in the people that have been important in your life. It can be too easy to want to spend all your time with the person that you're in a relationship with because they're awesome. But don't let other relationships drop off along the way. If you aren't dating anyone, don't make it your main goal. If you aren't happy with your life or with who you are while you aren't dating someone, then you won't be when you are dating someone. No one can make that change for you. You don't need another person for you to have a great high school experience. Go be you. Do things that you like to do. Hang out with people you enjoy. And listen, dating isn't always the solution to a happy life. There's way too much that is awesome in your life to not enjoy it because you wish you were in a relationship.